What's going on, everybody? TG here, back with another video, and today we're talking about the fitness company Peloton. Now, Peloton has had an absolute incredible run since the March lows and has gone up exponentially since then, up 393% at one point, and has pulled back since due to growth stocks overall taking a bit of a hit. Remember in February and the beginning of March, when all the growth stocks and big cap tech just really took a beating with interest rates increasing. But now there's another problem for Peloton. Consumers should stop using Peloton's treadmill, agencies warn after a kid has died in one of the treadmills. I actually saw the video, and I'm actually going to link it in the description. I don't want to show it because it is kind of disturbing for some, but there's been 39 incidents of this treadmill issue with pets and children and things being sucked into the treadmill. And they came out and said that you should not be using this treadmill. So the idea of this is an amazing idea. The idea of a treadmill that works like a Peloton bike. If you guys know how the Peloton bike works, it is amazing. If we actually look at the bike, it is a really, really good looking bike. And essentially what it does is it'll allow you to compete against other people in classes, have motivational people talking to you. It's a very, very interesting technology, and I actually use it during quarantine when I had nothing to do. I use it. Such a great workout, such a great motivation, and the stock has run up huge because of that. Gyms are closed, places locked down. So what do people do? They switch to Peloton. They get motivated, they work out, they got into fitness, and they use this bike. And so they had the idea of a treadmill, which I always said would be a great idea. An ability to run against other people and see where you stack up. I think it's an amazing idea. But I mean, it's dangerous because if you look at it, this thing right here allowed kids to get sucked into it, and a poor kid actually died. So the stock took a pretty bit of a beating on Friday, down about 5% in total, and it's looking like it's going to end up going down even more on Monday. But the question is, do you buy this dip? We want to obviously make the right plays, but we don't want to jump in too soon. So is this an overreaction? Is this company still solid? Let's look into a couple other details first. First off, let's look at the financials. Peloton current market cap $34.22 billion. Like I said, it was trading at $29 and got as high as 171. P ratio 232, a little bit high, but it's a growth stock, so it can be justifiable when you have earnings and revenue like this. Revenue up 128% year over year. Net income up 214% year over year as well. They also have a little bit of cash on hand as well. So I think they're going to be having to pay off some big lawsuit because of this, obviously, so that'll hurt the company slightly. But the question is, are they going to have to do recalls? Is that going to affect them? How are they going to deal with this treadmill? They're going to have to recall every single one that they've made, which is going to cost them a fortune, really hit into the profits. You might even see a negative quarter because of that, considering the fact that their net income was only $63 million last quarter. If they get a lawsuit and have to recall all these, equipment, it's going to be very, very bad. But one of the great things about Peloton that gives them some free cash flow is the Peloton service. If you guys don't know, when you use Peloton, this little thing right here, the class, you have to pay monthly for that. So that's good free cash flow for Peloton. So getting a monthly income with that. And then loyalty for customers. People who use Peloton love it. That's one thing about it. The people who use it love the product. They are motivated by it. And it's just a great idea. No one wants to sit on a spin bike and just listen to music. There's nothing fun about that. But there is something fun about having someone, coach you, looking at the leaderboard on the side, seeing how you stack up against the rest of the world. Whenever I would do Peloton, I'd always try to get like top 1% out of everyone. Like that was my goal. And it pushes you so hard to see your little name pass different people. People can pass you. You see all their usernames. It really, really draws competition. So people who are into fitness and live in like cold states and stuff like that, it's the perfect tool for that. They are a little bit pricey. They're around $1,000 per bike. But I mean, they last a long time. They're very, very good. And like I said, customer loyalty is huge. So obviously we've seen growth cool off a bit. The stock's still up 10% for the month, which is, normal considering the fact that, growth stocks just got absolutely hammered. Peloton was under $100 at one point and is able to climb back up to 114. I think we might see under 110 tomorrow, potentially, depending on, what the company comes out and says about this. Are they going to recall these treadmills. But I think overall, this is still a solid company in my opinion. I think if you do see under 110, you might want to add into a long-term position on Peloton, because the way things have been with the lockdown economy, a lot of people have gotten into fitness. A lot of people have gotten into, these spin bike things. And instead of having to go to a gym and join a spin bike class, you can do that spin bike class from your basement, your living room, wherever it is. And you can get just as good of a workout, and you can own that. You can save money by not buying gym membership fees. So it's revolutionizing the way we do fitness. And I think that's a very, very good idea, especially with the treadmill as well. I think the treadmill is going to be huge. Every gym has a treadmill, and I could see gyms start purchasing, Peloton treadmills as well. I think that could be a great idea for them. You could plug in your account. But overall, what the company remains the same, and the fundamentals remain the same. This is obviously a setback. This is a big setback, because, like I said, recalling is very expensive. Lawsuits are very expensive, and they're gonna have to change something up. So how they go about this, what they say in the press conference, can be a big thing. We saw when Baba got that huge fine. Baba had a really good press conference. The stock rallied, but this uncertainty, if nothing is said, can be a big issue. So I cannot wait to see what happens, because, like I said, if it does dip, well under 110, I'm going to enter a position into Peloton. There's a great company overall, and it's here to stay. Peloton is not going anywhere at all. So I will definitely add a position into it. The financials back everything up. I'd like to see profit margins increase a little bit more, but that's normal for growth companies to start off with small profit margins. Even Amazon's profit margin is about like 6% right now. So, the profits will come. The good thing is the revenue is huge right now. They did over $1 billion in revenue. A lot of people have concerns. Well, is this going to continue when the pandemic ends? And I think it does. I think the people who have bought Pelotons like them. They tell their friends about them. They want to compete. And I've seen it firsthand for someone who owns a Peloton. So this is a great thing. This is a great company. But this is obviously bad. So it's warranted why the stock is down. From where it was, the stock's down, only 3.4% this week. But we could see a much bigger dip. Like I said, we can definitely see under 110. So I think if you see about 105 or something, that's definitely a big buy point. Even 109 is a big buy point long term. So I'm going to be watching the stock very, very closely, seeing what it does, seeing if it does dip under, this 110 price range. It's one of the most trending stocks on StockTwits right now. A lot of people are, calling for puts at the open and stuff. So we'll really have to see what happens. But it's going to be up to the company how they respond to this and, what they do going forward. But, if they keep having growth like they have been, little things like this get swept in the rug. And obviously it's not a little thing considering that someone died. It's tragic and awful. But, for the company long term, it's just one of those things that they're going to have to get over in a positive way and make restitution for that. So, the consumer is their biggest target. Obviously, they need to keep their consumer, and they need to keep them happy. So they're going to do what they can do. But even in the description of Peloton now, they literally have, what just happened with the treadmill. In the about of the stock. So obviously that's not a good thing, but as you guys can clearly see, like these things are pretty pricey. You have the bicycles going from $1,900 to $3,000, treadmills going from $2,500 to $5,000, and like I said, monthly subscriptions. So the pricing is there, the profits are there. It's just about scalability and growth over time, and I do believe that this company will continue to grow. So use this tragic setback, as an opportunity potentially to get in on a great company that's here to stay long term and is really going to change up the way we do things. Like I said, the market cap, while it is $34 billion, which is pretty big, they're still backed by solid numbers. They did $1 billion in revenue last quarter. Obviously, we got to get that net income up a lot more, but 232 is not big. In fact, we have mega cap companies like Tesla sitting at a 1,200 PE ratio. So, overall, I think this is a great buy opportunity, and I recommend it long term. So watch for a bit of a bumpy ride right now, but overall fundamentals remain the same, which means company's still a great company. So watch on Monday, see how they handle it. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Peloton, if you are a buyer, if you already own it, or if you plan on making a position in Peloton. So like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and let's see what the market does tomorrow. Bye, guys.